Mitch from Wicked Fishing Adventures, and as a lot of you know, I've just spent the full weekend over at Ipswich for the annual Australian Lure and Fly and Outdoors Expo. I was over there representing LAFMA, which is the local stocking group that I've been involved with for about 5 or 6 years over here. I was there with Charlie. He's the guy, he's at all these events. He does about 24 to 28 of these a year. And he's with FSAC, which is the Freshwater Fishing and Stocking Association. He does a lot of work for us and similar stocking groups to us in the area. We had a really good weekend as far as the club's concerned. We got a few new members and a few new tackle companies on board to sponsor the carp comp and donate to fingerling purchases. I want to give a quick shout out to Trevor, who's one of my sponsors. He owns a company called Perfection Rod Building and Repair, and he also makes hand-carved timber hard-body lures. He made a special trip over on Saturday to drop 20 or 25 of these lures off to me, and he knows the style of fishing I do, and he makes lures for that sort of thing. So he's brought me some over that he's been catching a lot of jacks on, which are these sort of style here. And he's also brought me over some that the guys are using up in the Fitzroy River at the moment, and they're absolutely slaying the barra. But he brought me down a couple that he's been chasing flathead on down the Gold Coast and doing really well, which is these style here. And I've got and this little one here has also been doing really well for flathead down the Gold Coast. He also brought me over a couple of new ones. These are prototype ones. They've got a really deep body on them and gives them a really nice roll in the water. So we're hoping they'll do really well for big cod. So thanks again to Trevor, because it's always appreciated when you throw us some new stuff. Another shout out to Crossy, Crossfire Lures. He's been making these for a while, and he makes them in a lot of different sizes. I bought one last year that was top water flathead lure, and it's a really, really productive lure. But as most of you know, I've got a 2-week trip coming up north, and we're going to try and do a lot of stick baiting for coral trout out on the reef. So I asked Crossy if he had anything painted up for that, and he gave me this Fusilier coloured one. It's the Crossfire 230. It only weighs 70 grams. They're only a really light lure. They do still cast well, and they are bulletproof. When I first met Crossy, he gave me a 4-pound dumpy hammer and one of his lures, and told me if I could break it, he'd give me a free one. I belted it for a good couple of minutes on the concrete, and I couldn't even dent it. So these things are bulletproof, and they've really, really, really got nice terminal tackle on them. Everything's heavy. He also threw me a little one for nothing to try out on bass. So I'll get that out into the rivers and give it a try as soon as possible. I'd like to thank Robbie from Somerset Tackle. He came over and had a chat to me at the trailer while I was there today, and he heard about what we were doing out this way with the Logan and the Albert, and with Wirralong Dam especially, and how expensive cod fingerlings and stuff are. So he gave us this S-bait spinnerbait. This is one of only 5 made. It has poly acrylic blades on it instead of the metal ones. It's a prototype. They call it a Ghost Ninja. It's a 1/2-inch spinnerbait. This is the only one left that hasn't sold yet. The other 4 have all sold, and they've had bids on this one up to $90. So he's given it to us, and what we'll do, the club will auction this lure off. I'll post another video about that soon when we work out where we're going to do the auction. But we'll auction this off, and anything we make from it will go to fingerling purchases. So thank you heaps to Robbie for that. I did say in an earlier post that we had a really good development over there today with the stocking club, and that was I actually got to sit down and have a good 20-minute conversation with Jason Ehrlich. And anyone who follows freshwater fishing in Queensland should know who Jason is. He writes for Queensland Fishing Monthly. He does a lot of segments on DVDs. He's been on TV before. Halco sponsors him, and he's also the creator of Hot Bite Lures, and I've been wanting to get one of his big tosser stick baits for a while. Again, for this trip up north, I think it'll do really well on trout and lippers out on the reef. So I bought one to give it a go, and I just wanted to talk to Jason, pick his brain about the stocking program and things like that, and let him know what we were doing. He was nice enough to give me a good 20 minutes this morning to talk about it, and at the end of it, he donated some proceeds from his stall this weekend to the club. He's also taken a membership form, so he'll be signing up with us as a member soon, and we're going to stay in touch, and hopefully he's going to come down and write an article about the stocking group, Wyerlong Dam, and what our plans for the dam are. Which, I don't know, most of you should know now. Any of you that follow me on LAFMA or even on Wicked Fishing, I do like to post about the tagging program and the Mary River cod stocks on there. The plan for Wyerlong Dam is to turn it into southeast Queensland's premier cod fishery. So most stocking groups, they do stock some cod in the dams, but they're only a handful in amongst their main stocking staples, which are bass and yellowbelly. We want Wyerlong to be the dam you go to in Queensland where you target cod specifically. We want somewhere nice and close for people up the Sunshine Coast and further north, so they don't have to drive all the way down to New South Wales, central New South Wales, to catch cod. So they're our main stocking focus, but they are rather expensive to buy, so it's a slow process. But I'd really like to thank Jason for his involvement, because he's got a big fan base, and anything he can do for us is going to be a great help. So I wanted to give him a quick shout out. There's a lot of lure companies at this expo every year, and if you've never been over to it, if you're involved in the lure fishing industry at all, it is well worth a look. A lot of the big tackle companies aren't there, which gives a lot of a chance for these smaller companies to shine, and that's where you find your better lures anyway. Is these handmade guys, they swim test every lure before it gets packaged. Every one of these lures has been in the water to make sure it swims properly and is basically built to spec. So I really like using these smaller brand handmade lures. I think they're a better quality product usually. And these ones are Trevor's I've been using for a lot of years, and he only just recently came on as a full-time sponsor for me, so now I'll be running these a lot more, but I've always caught fish on them, so I have no doubt that these will be no different. I'll keep you posted. I'll do another video on these once I get a few of them wet, and I'll keep you posted on any progress we have with LAFMA. I will do another video in relation to the auction of this lure, because I think there'll be a few guys who'd be interested in getting their hands on it, and all proceeds go to fish stocks anyway, which is always a good thing. Alright guys, thank you.